Hello YouTube, my name is Yes, and welcome back to Can They Be DLC Episode 7 Season 2. And this episode once again is coming a little bit late, much like I think last week, is because I was sick. I was hella sick. Well, not really. Yesterday I got really sick, even went to the hospital to get my stomach checked out. Turns out it was just bad indigestion that I had. Still very painful. I was up from 5:20 in the morning, full of pain from that point on until like 9, and yeah. But also because the last time I recorded this was done. I did this. Unfortunately, the video got corrupted. So yeah. Also, I'm gonna still try to keep everything as fast as possible because A, I've done this before, and B, not that I want to rush anything or just want to get this out. It's because like I'm a little bit tired and I would like to have this video done before next week, and also because since I've done this, it's very demotivating to do it again. But still, let's get on to it. Also, that's another thing for apologizing, because I'm going to try to do it as fast as possible because I've responded to most of the comments already. I'm going to skip a few, most of the ones that I really can't add anything to, so let's get onto the video. First things first, news. Last time I made this we didn't have any news. Today we do, because tomorrow Nintendo will reveal or announce or will release the video of Sakurai playing the demo, 22-minute demo for the hero. So like everybody was predicting, we're getting it. They said we're getting it in a video breaking down the hero. We also know that the hero will be launching soon. How soon? That will be probably after that direct or after that demo presentation, which is gonna get the servers to crash. So it's lovely for me that it's 2 in the afternoon for me, which means when I get back from work, it will be working. It will be download available. So yeah. So the topic of this video is Shantae, and how likely is she for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? I think that she is likely. I think that after the hype that was every character announced so far, Shantae would be the nice middle ground of hype character, but not like incredibly super hardcore hype inducing for any region of the world. She'll be nice for everyone, she'll be great for everyone, and that'll be lovely. I would be pretty hyped, but like I don't think she's gonna touch the levels of hype of Joker because of the surprise reveal of Banjo-Kazooie for the West, of the release for or hero for Japan. I think she would be very good for the role of the fourth character. Like after everything that we had, a little bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? Of a breather, let's put it that way. Still, I don't think that's a better word, but still, it's the best one that works here. Of a breather, like can relax a little. It's still a very good character, very important character, and honestly, in my mind, one of the only indies that deserves to be in here, to plateau a little, to calm everybody down a little, just a tiny bit, to then for the whatever character 5 to come in and destroy all of us. Things going against her is, I guess, the Spirit, which against unless DLC was also chosen early on in development, I don't see them, you know, having anything in debating or competing or stopping her from being in. Maybe we could see if she's not playable. I would at least hope for a Mii costume. At least that would be something. And yeah, again, one of the few indie characters I think actually deserves to be in Smash. So again, short video I guess, but let's go on to the comments. First we had a lot of them, I'm gonna be completely honest. So Devil Luke, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to skip over a little bit your comment because you say unless Dead or Alive 6 gets ported to the Switch. I kind of disagree because, you know, Persona 5 is not coming to Switch, Scramble is, and that's enough I guess for Joker to be in. So I guess a spin-off or something that involves Ryu Hayabusa, and he's been in so many games with Nintendo that he most likely can be, and he's on one of the few one of the few NES games, big NES franchise not to be in Smash yet. And Tecmo Koei is a big company. Then Terry Servenson, they could have Ryu Hayabusa be a Mii costume. That way they don't risk losing that much money if players don't want to buy the costume. In regards to Shantae, I do believe she'll be in. She'll be one of the last 2 challenger fights. There's several rooms I believe she'll get in. We haven't gotten a female character in the past yet, and no, Kazooie doesn't count because she's part of a duo with Banjo. Shantae is becoming so popular that she is getting several kinds of merchandising. She has a new game coming out sometime this year. I forgot to mention that again. So I talked so much in the last video that I don't even know what to bring up anymore, which is sad. She has fan demand, and the most important thing is anytime somebody asks Wait for the Matt Boson about it, they would like to see Shantae as a playable character in Smash. At some point they don't respond at all, so I believe Shantae will be one of the last 2 fighters, and I have a feeling that she'll be Challenger Pack 4. Completely agree. The one thing that Shantae is becoming bigger, she also has now the opening for her game is being done by a pretty big animation studio in Japan, I believe, I could be wrong, and they left a hint for Smash. I don't think that means anything, because although it's not the exact same design of the games, she still has already that window be across, so it doesn't really mean much. And yeah, and if they really have tightened up on talking about it, then it could mean that she's playable, because like every time somebody would talk about a character with their creators and they said something, it could be like, you're done, mate, you have nothing in. And when they stop talking is when you could tell. Like Phil Spencer stopped talking about Banjo-Kazooie in Smash after Smash was revealed for the Switch in April. Or the game was announced in March. I think the last time we talked about it was April. So you know. Then we have a bunch of Obese Rob ones, so I'm gonna quickly skim through it, and I apologize for it. First was the maintenance one on the eShop, the maintenance on the 22nd, probably to avoid a Joker crash happening. Well, that unfortunately led to nothing, and I still think it's going to be a crash anyway, maintenance or not. It's bound to happen. It's going to be too many people entering the store at the same time. Koei Tecmo does technically have Spirits in Ultimate with stuff like Better Frame. Yeah, but that's also a technicality, I guess. To answer your reversal question, Mario RPG in particular cost them a lot of money, as in they lost money. It sold so little that they canceled a European version and was a major factor in separating Final Fantasy from Nintendo. Not to mention that they had to split the money they made back with Nintendo, who did nothing to develop other than land characters. Well, the Final Fantasy thing I'm going to have to call a little bit of BS, because if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, the reason why Final Fantasy crossed to PlayStation was because of memory space on the 64, on the cartridges for the 64, not anything regarding the relationship between the 2 companies. And even if it lost them a lot of money back then, it's good to remember that back then you did not only have you didn't just buy the game. You could have also rented the game and you had used copies. Something that nowadays it's diminishing a lot. Maybe not used copies, but the rental market is completely done. So people would rent a game, play it a little bit, or play it, then give it back, and they would be done. And also, like, it could have cost a lot of money back then, but like you could still, it's still easy money nowadays to have a re-release on the eShop, have it be a character in Smash. They don't lose money, they just make money, I guess. One thing I would find it cool if they did was a remake. Give it to somebody, a studio that Nintendo works with, a studio that Nintendo works with, or that Square works with. Just make a remake, just to bring the franchise once again up to everybody's minds. Then Cloud's costumes are actual reference to the different classes in Soldier, which is the organization Cloud worked for. Sure, but again, they still very much look all the same, and I don't know. I think everybody would prefer if they were more in line of like, here's a costume that referenced Tifa and Barrett and Aerith. Not, you know, he used to work for Soldier, so he's gonna be, all the costumes are gonna be Soldier. I think they could have done a lot better with his costumes. Then they have a bigger one, so again I apologize if I'm gonna skim through this, because I responded to all of this on Saturday, then I got sick on Sunday, then everything came home, find out that everything was corrupted on my PC, not on PC, but on the SD card. So apologize if I skim through a little bit of this bigger comment. So not at all. 2950, I think this is when I asked if I was being rude or something, and I apologize for it. Not at all, man. You're cool. For the most part, I have agreed with your arguments. It's rather weird about the music, but it has something to do with being easier to obtain for trailer purposes. After all, it's not only Final Fantasy music that has trailers, but not an actual game. Looking at Persona, as for why the summons why the spawns are spirits, you got me. That's really interesting why they didn't make those as spirits when they already are in the game. So to counter both of these arguments at the same time, the music, like Persona still had 11 songs, right, in Smash, while Final Fantasy ended up having 2, technically speaking 3. So I guess it would be easier, but at the same time, like, they had more songs, so it's like, we could just do it. Here's the songs. We could just put them in the trailer, even if they don't make it into the game. It's not as weird when you have like a character that has 2 songs, overall 4, technically speaking 5 if we include Geno's, not to have anything else, which is weird in a way. And with the spirits, it becomes even weirder now. Sure, that we're only going to see what the hero is tomorrow, everything, but there's already been data mines that found that Dragon Quest is almost exclusively enemies. So it's really weird why they didn't just add the things. I don't legit do not understand how companies. I would love to be a fly on the wall to see the discussions. Here's an interview where Sakurai says Square Enix was easy to work with for Smash 4. At this point, he already had the project planned for Ultimate finalized, meaning Square was already on board for Ultimate. I said it before, I said it in my previous recording, and I said it again. This is actually a fairly long one, so I'm gonna have to look at it because I recorded the first video on Saturday night, so you know I hadn't had the time to do it because then it was a Sunday morning basically that I got really sick, so I haven't had exactly the time to read it, but I will, and I'll get back to this. Note that Namora even says they offered multiple characters, but Sakurai wanted Cloud. Well, Cloud is also, I believe, Cloud. Sakurai's already answered this, I believe. I think that the reason he gave was like he wanted other characters like the Warrior of Light and the Final Fantasy 6 or 3 or whatever it was main character, but he felt that they would be too obscure to the public, and given it was also very he was having a lot of like if finesse on putting Cloud in because he never was on the Nintendo system, but because he appeared on the Nintendo system, he was like, okay, we can do this, which is why sometimes we have to remember, like, yeah, maybe the character does need to be on the Nintendo system, just because Sakurai will, if Cloud had misgivings and Sakurai was like, I don't know about this, then characters like, say, like a Kratos, for example, or 2B, become very much like, yeah, maybe not. As for the hero might have been difficult reason. Might have been difficult. The reason they're like with the hero is 4 characters, each owned by 3 companies: Square, Bird Studio, and Armor Project. The later 2 are known to be very controlling with Dragon Quest. Sure, but again, I might be misremembering it. But I believe Sakurai said in one of his latest columns or in an interview or whatever it was difficult to put all the heroes in because Square didn't like to have them all fighting. But even still, one of the things Toriyama, I don't know who Armor Project is. It still doesn't make much sense to me how some things from the past in Square Enix history are so many things that are divided between multiple companies. I get Dragon Quest because it was, I believe at the time, was the dream team of the composer, the artist, and the game developers, but still, it's weird how it's separated and broken up by so many people. And also, one thing I'm gonna say, one of the saddest things about Smash Ultimate is that we don't have the new character or the new challenger artworks that we used to have, the posters, because it would have been lovely to see Akira Toriyama designed or art style of the Smash Brothers characters. Would be funny. I can't exactly link files to prove Cloud was early in Ultimate, but I can point out that he was added before E3 2018 demo, before half of the roster, including other third parties as the Belmonts and Ken. Well, here's the thing about this. In E3 2018, they just wanted to show that everybody was here. There were characters that were easily not in the game already, that were very much rushed into being in the game, like young Link and Wolf. You could clearly see that they were rushed into it. But I think like a character like Cloud and a character like Ryu and Bayonetta and Snake were there to prove like, yeah, everyone is in fact back. Everyone is here. Everyone's returning. And like Snake and Cloud were always the characters that everybody's like, if they are to re-release the game, like, how do you top Smash 4? Everyone's like, well, Cloud's probably not gonna come back, so you increase everybody else. The same thing with Snake in a way. It was like maybe the characters that were maybe the people were like gonna take the wheel. As for the Belmonts and Ken, it's unclear if they were in the game or not, because again, it was a tech demo or a build that they were using, not the final one. And marketing wise, they probably wanted to keep the Belmonts to August just to have everything have a little bit more of synergy, I guess, like have Cloud and not Cloud, the Belmont, like everybody's here, and then Ridley at E3, because Ridley was the E3 announcement, to be fair, the final E3 announcement. And then like not have too many CGI trailers at E3, and the fact that we had such a short period of time, I think that has more to do with marketing than like who was and who wasn't already in the game. And also the final thing you said was, please tell me if the larger comment is better than leaving a ton of comments. I already guess. I guess I already did sort of did. Jesus, sorry about that, because I don't want to seem like I know it all who takes up all the comment section, but I do like a good discussion. No, dude, it's fine. I said it when on my original recording. The more comments, the merrier, because that increases the YouTube analytics and the videos get more views. Heck, this video I think had more views than Sans, and it's like Sans is a very more popular character nowadays than Ryu is. And somehow, someway, this ended up having more views, which is weird. And then MJ Slat said, yes, hell yes, I think he's very excited about the possibility of Ryu. Then Symphonia 30, this is the good part about the video having been delayed, because we got 2 extra comments. One from Symphonia 30, I want Ryu Hayabusa to be DLC, he desperately needs it. And I would say one of the last few characters from the NES era that deserves it, and it should be. And finally, Ryu Hayabusa. I really hope he makes it in. It only makes sense for him to be in the game and definitely deserves it. The downside is that nobody cares enough, and there hasn't been any news on Ninja Gaiden in a long time, which makes it all the irrelevant. But fingers crossed he'll make it in. I mean, I don't think irrelevancy and like how long it's been since the game has come out, because look at the Belmont. It has been a while since Castlevania, but they're still in. I guess it could be more of a base roster for the next game, Ryu, than one for this game. But if we take the possibility that the Google theory is still in play, he's still a possibility, so it's up there. And yeah, I guess that'll be it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and this ended up being longer than I thought it was gonna be actually. But still, thank you guys for watching. I've been watching the stream again next time as we keep on going with this series. And we're gonna go once again with another indie character, one indie character that I think will make it into the game one way or another, and that character is Cadence from Crypto the Necro Dancer. So I'll see you guys next time.